What it do, y'all? And for today's video, your girl wanted to bring some ballads to my channel. I feel like lately I've been showing you guys so many products. I've been spending quite a bit of money, and I always try to find balance, even if it's hard, because I'm real, right? So like sometimes I do spend way too much money. Sometimes I maybe don't spend enough money. You know what I mean? So regardless though, today I wanted to show you guys me shopping my stash to create my perfect ABH Nouveu palette. Now I thought the idea of this palette was really nice, and there were certain parts of the palette that I did enjoy, but overall it was just not a palette that I felt like I would get a lot of use out of in my collection. I do have quite the bit of eyeshadow palettes, and so at this point for me, I really need something to be really speak to me, or something that a lot of people here on my channel are really requesting for me to review for you all. And I only had one person ask me specifically to review this palette, and so hopefully that person is still subscribed, and if they are, hopefully this video will still be something intriguing to them, as it was intriguing for me to kind of go through the process of course creating the palette and then ultimately creating my look. So if you're interested in seeing the process of me creating the palette and then of course this look, let's just get into it. Hey guys, so as I said in the intro, what I'm gonna do is just shop my stash to kind of dupe out the palette on the screen right now, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveu Palette. I think this is a pretty palette in theory, but it just doesn't hit the perfect mark for me. So I thought it'd be really cool to shop my stash. As I always say, I like to bring balance, not only showing you guys new stuff and interesting stuff to maybe pick up if you are interested, but also showing you how to kind of use what you already have. So pretty much the talking portion of it, I'm just going to show you guys, of course, sped up me shopping through all of my singles to see what singles will work. I'm just going to put them on screen, and then we will kind of build the palette from there. So yeah, that's it. Let's get into it. Okay, so these are all of the singles that I pulled out specifically for this palette, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I really still don't, but I think what I'm going to do is kind of group these in color families so I can kind of see a better arrangement of like what I have, what I don't, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so as you can see, I kind of have three different color families. I have some greens, I have some like peachier tones over here, and then I have some more purples. Those are kind of the tones that I felt were really predominant in the main one, but I just felt like it wasn't really giving me what I wanted. So in the main palette, there are only 12 shadows. I don't know if I'm going to stick to that color or that limited amount of shadows, but I do know that I kind of want to at least start from that. So for me, when it comes to a color scheme that I'm thinking of, I definitely know that I'm going to want some of these shades and maybe not others. I don't really know how I'm going to do this. I just wanted to break it down this way so that I could kind of see everything. So I'm going to probably stop talking and I'm just going to arrange. I might do some swatching. Hopefully I do it in frame. Maybe I'll scoot back a little bit. So I just rearranged everything. Sorry you can see what I'm wearing, but you know, life happens. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of build it the way I build it and we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, so this is the color scheme. I'm actually really enjoying this color scheme. I will say the window is actually washing it out just a little bit, so hopefully I can kind of change that in editing. But I really like that there's a matte to each shimmer, and I like that each shade is actually useful and important in this color scheme. To me, I really appreciate this, and this isn't a full-on rainbow, even though I feel like you can see quite a bit of color. Either way though, what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and swatch each shadow, and I'm gonna do my best to make it really nice. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. I'm gonna put the name of each shadow on the screen, that way I don't take up too much time in this portion. So that's pretty much that for the swatches. Let's just get into the tutorial. And yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, so we're here to show you guys the tutorial. As you can see, I've already done my left eye, but I'm gonna do my right eye on camera with you all. First, we are going to take a fluffy Wayne Goss number 16, and I'm going to go into this shade right here. I know that one unfortunately does not have a name. So yeah, if you are kind of trying to replicate this look, just choose any shadow that you have in your collection that has a similar tone and depth to this one. And I'm just going to really just honestly just pack her everywhere. Pack her all up in the crease, in the outer V area. I'm also going to drag her down below as well. Super quick crease action there. I am going to pretty much use this same brush for a lot of crease work, so I am going to be spraying in between with my It Cosmetics spray, and then what I do is I just dry off or kind of clean off the brush on a paper towel. If you have a microfiber towel, that'll work too. I just happen to have a paper towel in my room at the point. I think this is a shadow from Igneous Cosmetics. It is, and unfortunately that brand is no longer running, but it is the shade Pear. I really enjoy this shade. This is one of my favorite shades that the brand came out with when they were available on Etsy. And I am just going to pack her on in this area. I decide to pack her on first and then kind of blend, because this shade, I wouldn't say it's a thin shade, but because of the actual color, it can just blend away a little bit more easier than some of the other tones. And I'm just gonna go back in between these two tones just to get like my perfect blend. When I'm doing this part, I'm not really particular whether my brush is like fully clean. I just want to go back and forth between the two shades. That's pretty much what my aim is. And that's a pretty quick situation. It doesn't take me long to build up what I want. So once again, cleaning off my brush, wiping it on a paper towel, and then lastly for my crease action, I'm going to go into the khaki shade, which once again there is not a brand name, which means I stole it from an eyeshadow palette. I love these shades, so that's why I did it. And this is just a really good one, like really good. The amount of pigment on this one is astronomical, I feel. Anyways though, really pretty shade. I did kind of just like fluff this on the outer edge of all of the other tones, mainly because this kind of, I wouldn't say blends in, but kind of blends in compared to the other shades on my eye. And so it's just a nice kind of blender outer shade. Take that as you will. Then I wanted to start to kind of build my crease, and as you guys know, I love depth, so I'm gonna go into the darkest shadow matte wise in this palette, and that is the Sydney Grace Admiral. I love this shade. This is a really dark greenish tone, and I just find that it works really nicely, deepening out pretty much any shadow because of how dark it is. But with that slight warmth from the green, I find that you can really deepen out pretty much any matte eye look situation. And you know, that's what I'm about. So I'm just going to take that all pretty much down the lower lash line, but I'm really going to focus it on this outer V area. Okay, so really pretty building so far. Then we're gonna play with my fingers. I love to use my fingers when it comes to shimmers. If you don't, feel free to use whatever shimmer you feel more comfortable with. And funny enough, I forgot which I forgot which one I put on my eye. Oh no, I'm pretty sure it's this one. So we're gonna go with this one, and this is the multi-chrome from Devinah Cosmetics and Paralucia. So I'm gonna add that onto one of my fingers, and this is going to be on my back half / third of my eye. And because it has kind of a darker base, it really works to kind of seamlessly blend into that dark green. And then on another finger, I am going to reach into the shade Dull Face from Looxi Cosmetics, which is this baby right here. And this is going to be my inner kind of half of my lid. I think that these blended so well together, and I'm just really happy that these were the two shimmers that I decided to use today. And as always, if you feel like you lost some of your mattes, or you just want to kind of re-intensify, feel free to do it. I'm just going to re-intensify the kind of Pear shade from Igneous Cosmetics. That's the only shade I felt like I kind of lost. Then lastly, but certainly not least, I am going to grab a pencil brush, and I'm going to do my inner corner and like first inch of my lower lash line, and this is from Vanessa's Vanity, and it is Strawberry Lemonade. This brand does really pretty single shadows for extremely cheap price. Highly recommend this brand. I have a couple of their shadows, really love them. And so yeah, I'm just gonna put this in the inner corner, and then just that really front half of my lower lash line. I'm not going to go too crazy. So that is that. There's something going on with my lower lash line. What's happening? So that is that. All I need to do is put on my 2 liners. I have 2 liners, one in my waterline, one as a tight line. The tight line is my black from LA Girl. My waterline is from, I think, LA Girl too. Let me get them. So in my tight line, I have Magic Mint, and in my waterline, or no, in my tight line, I have Ultimate Black. In my waterline, I have Magic Mint. I'm gonna put those on. I'm gonna put on my mascara, which is of course my L'Oreal or my Maybelline Sky High. And then I'm gonna put on my lashes. These actually are from Unearthly Cosmetics. So I will have the style is Divine, in case you're wondering. And if you want to see what they look like before they're cut and on my eyes, here you go. Okay, so yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do all of that off camera. I also need to add highlighter. I just didn't put any highlighter on for some reason, so I'm gonna do that, finish up the rest of my face, and then I'll come back to show you guys the finished look and kind of talk about my palette, and yeah, we'll round it out. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. So like I said, this is the finished look, and what I'll say is that I'm really enjoying this look overall. I think that this is really cute, really nice. There's a splash of green, not only with my crease with that Pear shade from Igneous Cosmetics, but also in pretty much both of my lid shades there's some form of green in there, and that is kind of what I had hoped and wished that the ABH palette would have been. Although this looks very colorful, you can definitely pull quite a few greeny looks out of here, specifically because I have Admiral, which is that dark green in this palette, so it can really pull any of these shades slightly green or overall look green. And with these multi-chrome I have splashed in these shimmer shades, I also can pull my look green as well, and that was really what I wanted. I wanted a green palette from ABH that you could have a dark matte and then a variety of shimmers and other mattes as well, and they just didn't provide that for me, so I was able to create that today. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Everything that is on my face listed down below. It's pretty much Project Pan per usual, except for the eye, and I will have all of the items listed in this palette down below so that it's easy for you guys. And if I can find links, I will try and get my links for at least this palette. I don't know about my face products as well. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on my next one, which will be Friday. Yeah, and that'll be an update on my Project Pan. So I'll see you guys then. Bye guys.